Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today we're reviewing a brand new unit from OHREX. This is something unique that I haven't shown before, and it's kind of a little subset of this digital dash display unit industry. This is only a CarPlay and Android Auto display. No dash cams, no TPMS, no built-in GPS or built-in navigation or any other features, just a good, hopefully, CarPlay and Android Auto screen. Now, if you're wondering, well, why in the heck would you want that? Having a dedicated screen, an interactive touchscreen device to take over for all of those functions and just put your phone in your pocket makes a huge difference. If you haven't used CarPlay or Android Auto, you don't know what you're missing. Seriously, it is such a big difference to using all that kind of stuff. So we've got our normal give us a review card. We got some protective foam, and we've got the unit. This also has, I see, another unique feature that I haven't seen on other units yet, a little sunscreen, or sunshade, I should say. And I was seeing if it's built in or removable. It is built in. Let me get this out of the way. So we got this nice overhang here. And that can definitely come in handy. Let me tell you what, living in Florida, we've got a lot of direct, bright sun. So depending on how you mount it, this can definitely be an asset. Or it may not do anything. It's going to depend on your particular bike. Oh, I love to see this. We've got a ball mount. It's plastic. It is removable. There's probably some other options. Probably a standard 1-inch ram. It might be proprietary, but from past experience with these types of mounts, I know that if it's a little smaller, you can still use a connector and put it on whatever ram ball mounts you have. So I love to see that. Now, installing this should be dead simple. We just have a power connector. That'll be the quickest install on a bike I've ever seen. And it is waterproof. I do see a speaker back here. I'm looking for an auto brightness sensor. I don't see one, so it's probably just fixed. Got lots of access ports. We've got this panel on the side with 3 screws. I see one on, where did I see it? Right here. I don't know what these are for. We'll see if the manual says anything. That's actually a rubber plug. So maybe there's some options. I'll check the website. Maybe the instructions will say something. We've got a screen protector on here. Looking at the bezels, they're pretty chunky. They are chunky monkeys. We've got about 3/4 of an inch all the way around. Let me make sure you guys can see it there. So you can see the one on the right, how thick it is in the bottom there. It advertises a 5-inch screen diagonally. So I'm going to imagine probably the standard 4-icon CarPlay screen layout. We'll take a look when we get it installed. And during this video, after I show you what's in the box here, we will be installing it on my FJR 1300, running through its setup, anything we find odd there, and then we'll take it out on the road real quick. Not too much to test. We're just going to be basically looking for functionality. Got a USB cable for power here. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe it's dual powered. Maybe you can even run it off a battery bank or something. And we'll also run it at night, you know, just to make sure we don't have any dimming in overheat situations like the daytime use. And if you are going to need to adjust it day to night for different outputs. Looking at this here, it also looks like a power adapter. This one has some hard wires, so this might be for a direct battery connection. And we've got some U-joints here for bar mounting, and there's the 1-inch, no, not the 1-inch, the ball for the mount system here, and some various rubber adapters, and one bag left here. Yep, here we go. Here's our ball connector. So that should let us attach to even standard ram ball mounts. And then the only thing left in the box is the instruction book, CarPlay manual. Wow, that is tiny. Hang on. Need some help. Oh, there we go. That's better. So it's going through the standard features here, what processor it has, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, FM transmitter supports original car stereo. That's interesting. I wonder if it has like one of those old school FM short range broadcasts to go to like your bike speakers or something. Huh. It says 1024 by 600 5-inch IPS screen. And I did notice something. It was on the website. I'm looking real quick to see if it says here, but it says it includes a 64 gig card on the website, but it also says you can't use that card to do any firmware updates because it's too large. I've never seen that kind of warning before. All right, and in here, just our standard, what it has, what it doesn't have. It says it uses less than 10 watts. Sound settings, jazz, classical, rock, pop, soft user. Are they talking about EQ? That's interesting. I'm curious now to plug this in. I thought it would just be CarPlay only, but it sounds like it definitely has some unique stuff in its own software, and just instructions here on how to connect to your device, standard stuff, and then other languages. All right, so that's it. What's in the box? Let's take it out and get it installed. I love it. It is indeed a 1-inch ball. So easy peasy. Every single one of these units should have this option. Great job. This makes mounting absolutely perfect. Okay, got it mounted up on the left ram ball and simply wired into my Fuseblock. All you've got is a single power connection, and there is a little key in slot, so pay attention to that when you connect these two. Just look at the arrow. Well, it doesn't get any faster than that. That was a 2-minute install. Let's fire the bike up, boot it for the first time. I'll connect my phone. Okay, that is world record for fastest boot, near instant, under a second. Absolutely love it. Nice looking high-res screen. Even though the specs on it obviously aren't super high-res, it's a compact enough screen where the density is just fine. So we got buttons here for CarPlay, Android Auto. We've got a clock in the middle. We'll see what is in setup here in a second. Apps. What is apps? I'm curious about that. Looks like the same thing as on the home page. All right, that's fine. SD card, it's probably SD invalid. Probably have to format it, or maybe they didn't include one after all. I'll have to check. Clock. Touchscreen is so far very fast. What's that do? Guess that's a back key. We got volume. Yep. Very responsive. Menu. Maybe that's where you are. SD card, SD invalid, Bluetooth, not connected. So you can connect directly to your comms or phone if you don't want to, for whatever reason, use CarPlay. This would probably also be good for directly connecting to Bluetooth speakers if you've got them on your bike. Just thought of that, which I don't do. Little phone icon there. Probably some of this isn't going to work because my phone isn't connected quite yet. Let's see what's in setup. A little hard to read just because of that graphic in the back, but that's all right. You're not going to be in here much at all. Beep is on, but I'm not hearing anything, so I'm not sure what beeps. Touch calibration, love to see that. Weather to screen correction. Okay, obviously Chinglish. Out of the box, so I am not needing to do anything. Factory reset. Logo setup. Oh good, we can change that. Input password. I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Okay. No idea. Equipment sound setup. Aha, it does have a built-in EQ. That's interesting. I wonder if it's just talking about, it must be just talking about the built-in speaker. I don't know anybody that would actually be blaring music or anything through a little tiny built-in speaker, but you've got the option, loudness control, which is like a bass boost. Okay, and these would be your presets it was talking about in the manuals there. Okay, nice to have. Probably would never use that. When you use CarPlay and Android Auto, it takes over all settings like that, it goes off your phone. And it's just passing through the information, so that part would be irrelevant. Display settings. Here, that's what I was looking for. Change the wallpaper. There we go. That's easier to read. So you do have some options here for different backgrounds. That's nice. Very nice. I'd probably keep it on black since that isn't my bike. But again, nice to have. I like that. Back. Was there a brightness? Did I miss it? Oh, there we go. Display settings. What did I hit to get to that logo? Oh, I bet logo setup is the brand, because when companies buy this stuff, they're buying it from the actual manufacturer of the hardware, and you can customize them. And that's probably what all these other things here are for, features that other brands that buy this base unit may be using. So that's probably what that is. But I must have, I was gonna, because I saw that little orange come down here, and I'm like, wait a minute, I bet there's more. It'd be nice if there was like a little arrow to let you know there's more. Background, that's what I was hitting. Okay, cool. So display settings, yes, here's our brightness. So, nice, we're only 46. What does it go up to? 100? Okay, that washes out the blacks. Let's see what the contrast does. Wow, that totally knocks things out of whack. I'm glad there's a reset switch there. So when it's all maxed out, hue isn't even doing anything. Full saturation. Yeah, we're gonna reset that. So it's an IPS screen, which means generally you're gonna have really good vision from side to side, up to down. That's one big advantage to an IPS over a TN panel. Same with TVs, same with computer monitors, but you can't overdrive IPS panels because this happens. See, the blacks just start coming up into grays. Not a huge deal for a device like this though, because you're not photo editing. Who cares if the background isn't exactly precisely black? You want to be able to read stuff on the screen. So I'll leave it at the default for testing, but I will adjust it if needed out on the road and see if we can get a better, if needed, result. I love having the settings there. Language, probably the standard stuff, yep. Time setup, let me set this real quick. I notice that it's only showing the time to adjust it in 24 hour. Let me go back out of another screen and come back, see if that's switched. So even though the display you can switch, you can't when you set it. Kind of weird there. And then this is probably the firmware. It is. All right. So now let me set up Carplay. I'll get this connected and we can run through the interface real quick. Make sure all that looks good. All right, here we go into Carplay. Just connected for the first time. We've got our standard screens here. I see a little circle there. That's going to be our in Carplay menus for this system, and the home is what it added. Should take us right back to the home screen. Let's see what's in the menu here. Okay, quick button to the volume and brightness. Interestingly, the brightness is different on here than in the main settings. I left it at the default 49 in the settings. Now this looks like it's doing a much better job of, I'm just going to put this at full because the blacks don't look as blown out using this slider. That's very interesting. So you might want to just stick to this one. Now let's check music real quick, see how long it takes things to pop in. That's not bad, but that's not bad at all. That is just as fast as a typical car. So we do have 5 rows here and they are squished. They are altered a little bit. They're not looking quite right. Everything's kind of looking a little taller. Give it a second to settle down. I want to see how fast it responds. There's a little delay. I don't want to play music because it'll cut out the video. Let's go to the real torture test navigation. This is just Apple Maps, nothing special. Other navigation apps are even more heavy. Let's try moving around. That's not bad at all. Tracks my finger. Let's try pinch to zoom. Oh, Okay, this does not do pinch to zoom. Probably doesn't have a dual finger identification, but we do have a plus and minus. The drag is pretty good, so it's useful at least. It's not perfect, it's not like a car, definitely not like using your phone directly with the pinch to zoom, but these buttons work it just fine. So that is perfectly functional as a navigation aid, as a CarPlay device. All right, let's take it on the road. This should give you an idea of how humid it is out. I just took the helmet out in the garage from being inside. Whew, you step outside, it's like a wall of moisture. I made a discovery. I figured out why there's a USB cable for power and why there's a speaker and EQ settings and all that kind of stuff in here, because I found this unit under different brands for sale for use in cars. So instead of the ball mount, it comes with a suction cup mount. So you can put it on your dash or a window, and then you can just plug it into your USB port in the car. And of course, older cars don't have Bluetooth, so they need the speaker. Very smart. I also found it in another variant with dash cam, so stay tuned. I might be getting that in for review. And just as a note, this is another one where if it's not on constant power, it does reboot when you start the bike. However, because it has the instant boot, who cares? So all I'm going to do here during the daytime test is ride around for a little extended period. We're slightly overcast today. We're still pretty hot, just about 90 degrees, but I want to keep this in the direct sun just to test for any kind of overheating / dimming, as we've seen in other units. Looking at it right now with brightness on full, it is fantastic. It is just as bright as the Chiggy. Everything's easily readable, of course. And we're in our standard CarPlay Apple Maps navigation. Now, how often this updates and everything is totally up to your phone and whatever app you're using. It doesn't have built-in GPS, so it's completely depending on your phone for its connection. Nothing unusual there. And using the buttons with gloves works just fine. Well, I can confidently say this does not have an overheating and dimming problem. I gave it extra time. I've been out 10 minutes here trying to keep my back to the sun here and have it directly exposed, and everything looks completely normal. Very glad to see that. I'm not surprised, as like I said, this has been used in cars, so when you stick something up on a dashboard, it must stand up to a lot of heat. All right, let's check out nighttime. I was just about to suit up to go out to test it, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I don't have anything to test. I'm just comparing the brightness at night, and we can see that it is indeed very bright. During the day, no problem whatsoever. It has plenty enough, and you are going to want to just tap this and go down. And that was a default, by the way. During the day, you had a little bit more. It's not a huge difference, but it's there. At night, I'm just matching what I see on the dash here for my eyes. You can go all the way down near 20. That's a real good level right there, or even a little bit lower. That looks great. So there you go. Happy to say it's a device that does exactly what it says it's going to do, and it performs exactly like I would expect it to out of the box. Excellent. So if you're looking for this type of thing, link is down below. Hope it helps. Stay tuned. I've got many more reviews coming up right now. See you soon.